Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to like and subscribe for half off on pizza next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Darth Maul, which translates into Dark Bad. His name is a subtle indicator that he is, in fact, an evil guy. This was also subtly noted with his demon horns, devil face, and double-bladed red is the evil color in Star Wars lightsaber. Totally also doesn't tip. What a jerk.
Double fresh, double smooth, double delicious to chew.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need a special weapon, one that anchors a trailer and inspires hope for a new generation of badass space war movies. Next, we need the power of the Force, channeled specifically through our desire for revenge. Finally, we'll make sure that we're incredibly nimble, bouncing all over the battlefield to the chagrin of our less mobile foes. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, but this one has a lot of multi-classing requirements. Dexterity is number 1. Despite the size of your weapon, you use it with an impressive amount of finesse. Wisdom after that, your senses are almost as sharp as your horns. Strength next, we need it for multi-classing, and jumping is tied to strength. You like to jump around. Follow that up with charisma. Don't get me wrong, you are intimidating, and this will get buffed with some racial bonuses, so it's not actually as low as it seems. Constitution is a little low. You're really hard to kill. It's just the first stat not tied to a multi-classing requirement, and we'll dump intelligence. Palpatine scooped you up when you were a kid and taught you how to kill Jedi and very little else. For race, the horns and red face say Tiefling. The fact that we need strength says Zariel Tiefling. If you want to know more about your fiendish options, check out the Fiendish Options Unearthed Arcana. It's free online. Zariel Tieflings get +2 charisma and +1 strength, 60 feet of dark vision, and hellish resistance for resistance to fire damage. For your background, you were raised to be a soldier, so soldier it up. Athletics, intimidation, ground vehicles, it's simple but effective. Everything a growing boy needs to murder Jedi. Kick things off as a monk. First level monks can grab 2 skills from the monk list. Acrobatics and religion would be fitting. I'm guessing you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. It's Palpatine's favorite. You also get unarmored defense, making your AC when you're not wearing armor 10, plus your dexterity and wisdom modifiers. This allows you to use martial arts, which lets you make an unarmed attack as a bonus action after you take the attack action either unarmed or with a monk weapon. Monk weapons are any simple weapons without the heavy or two-handed property, so a quarterstaff works. It's a versatile weapon that deals 1d6 bludgeoning one-handed or 1d8 two-handed. We'll actually upgrade this to a lightsaber a little bit later with some fancy skills. Trust me, I've done this a few times. Your unarmed attacks also deal 1d4 plus your dexterity modifier. Just because you're two-handing something doesn't mean you can't kick someone. Second level monks get unarmored movement, making you faster when you're not wearing armor. Maul keeps it light, or at least he does on Tatooine, but I guess everyone does there. You also get key points, letting you do cool guy stuff, like Step of the Wind, where you dash or disengage as a bonus action, and double your jump distance, giving you that coveted Maulbility. That's a portmanteau of Maul and mobility. Pretty great joke. Worth a like for sure. You can also use Patient Defense, letting you dodge as a bonus action for advantage on dexterity saving throws and give your enemies disadvantage to hit you. Final option is Flurry of Blows, letting you make 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action instead of 1, letting you really take advantage of that high dex score. Medium dex score. Just checked, yeah, you're really kind of all over the map, aren't you? Third level monks get Deflect missiles, letting you reduce damage from ranged attacks by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier and monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can throw it back by spending a key point. It deals damage like a monk weapon, so 1d4 plus your dex modifier. Blasters aren't a huge concern for you, just slap them back and keep pushing forward. You also get a monastic tradition. Way of the Kensei is perfect for monks who like weapons, so You also get to pick some weapons to be Kensei weapons, which are like monk weapons, but they can be martial as long as they don't have the heavy or a special property. Really, take your pick. We're reflavoring it to be a double-bladed saber, but a longsword is fun. It's versatile like a quarterstaff, but it uses d8s and d10s instead, and slashing instead of bludgeoning. You can make an agile parry with this if you're holding it and make an unarmed attack as part of your action. This adds 2 to your AC until the start of your next turn. You can also make a Kensei shot with a bonus action, which adds a d4 to the damage of ranged attacks for the rest of your turn. Not really in character for you, but it can be useful. Finally, you get Wave the Brush, teaching you calligraphy, the strongest skill in the game, and the perfect way to apply your badass tattoos. Because you're a Zariel Tiefling, you can also cast the spell Searing Smite at the 2nd level once per day. It takes a bonus action to apply it to a weapon, adding 2d6 fire damage to its next attack. The creature then has to make a Constitution save of 8 plus your Charisma modifier and proficiency bonus to try and put the fire out. Gets to try at the start of each of its turns, taking another d6 of fire damage until it passes. Lightsabers can burn through metal doors. They're pretty pretty hot. 4th level monks get slow fall, letting you reduce falling damage by 5 times your monk level as a reaction, so as long as you're not outright dead, you should be able to survive a big fall. Nothing in the player's handbook says your legs have to be attached to your body for this to work, so that's good. You also get an ability score improvement, and you need more dexterity to get the most out of your monk weapons. I'd go for that. Bouncing over to Paladin now, 1st level Paladins get Divine Sense, letting you sense fiends, celestials, and undead within 60 feet of you as an action, amount of times per long rest equal to your charisma modifier. You also get Lay on Hands, giving you a pool of healing you can distribute as an action, with hit points equal to 5 times your Paladin level. Honestly, 1st level Paladin doesn't have a lot of Darth Maul moves, but those will kick in at Paladin level 2. This level does give you access to Branding Smite because you're a Zerial Tiefling. That adds 2d6 radiant damage to your next weapon attack as a bonus action, and when you land the attack, it turns invisible things visible or prevents things from becoming invisible after you hit them. The radiant damage is obviously the lightsaber piece to this, but hey, invisibility is annoying, so that's nice. 2nd level Paladins can learn some spells. Divine Favor adds 1d4 radiant damage to all of your weapon attacks for up to a minute depending on your concentration. Other Paladin spells aren't really looking that good to me, at least not as good as Divine Smite. That adds 2d8 radiant damage to a weapon attack with an additional d8 if the target is undead or a fiend. That's from a 1st level slot. As we get more slots, it'll add an additional d8 for every higher level you use. That'll help you get some lightsaber flavor, but you can also help that damage with the Great Weapon Master fighting style, letting you re-roll 1s and 2s on damage die when you're using a weapon two-handed. Depending on how you want to wield that sword, you can also go for dueling, which just straight up adds 2 to the damage of melee attacks with the weapon you're wielding one-handed. Sometimes you go one-handed, sometimes it's 2. It's beneficial to pick one and roll with it in D&D, so just make a decision here. 3rd level Paladins can choose an oath, and you're all about revenge. Obi-Wan cut you in half? Revenge. Sidious killed your brother? Revenge. A Mandalore said your tattoos weren't cool? Revenge. So the Oath of Vengeance is perfect for you. You can learn the spell Hunter's Mark, letting you pick a creature to deal an extra d6 damage to with weapon attacks for up to an hour depending on your concentration. You can also channel Divinity once per long rest to either abjure an enemy, forcing a wisdom save on a creature. If they fail, they're frightened and can't move for a minute. If they succeed, they're not frightened and their speed is halved until they take damage. Or you can make a Vow of Enmity, giving you advantage on attack rolls against a creature within 10 feet of you until they die or a minute passes. You're better at fighting one-on-one. Split the Jedi up and whittle them down one at a time. 4th level Paladins get another ability score improvement. More dexterity is cool. It'll make your attacks more damaging and more accurate, bump your AC. Hey, it's a really good stat. Typically, Paladins don't really invest in dexterity, but you're a weird monk-paladin hybrid thing, and it kinda works. 5th level Paladins get an extra attack, letting you attack twice with your action, not counting your unarmed attack from your bonus action or flurry of blows. You can also learn 2nd level spells. Magical Weapon adds 1 to the attack and damage rolls with a weapon, and makes it magical for overcoming resistances for up to an hour depending on your concentration. If the enemy doesn't resist physical damage, I recommend Hold Person instead. It's from the Vengeance list. It forces a wisdom save on a humanoid, paralyzing them for up to a minute if they fail, meaning every attack roll has advantage and automatically crits on a hit. With your amount of attacks, that can add up to some serious damage. 6th level Paladins get Aura of Protection, letting you and your allies add your charisma modifier to saving throws while you're awake, basically just making you a little bit better at everything and everyone around you a little bit better as well. The Shadow Collective needs strong leadership, and you've got this. 7th level Vengeance Paladins get Relentless Avenger, letting you move half your movement speed after you land an opportunity attack. That movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. Considering you've got some extra speed from unarmored movement, this is even better for you and should help you chase down anybody who's trying to run away, unless they jump onto the ship. Coward. 8th level Paladins get another ability score improvement. Cap your dexterity. If you're rolled well, some extra wisdom could be helpful. Maybe boost that. 9th level Paladins can learn 3rd level spells. From the Vengeance list, Haste adds 2 to a target's AC, gives them advantage on dexterity saves, doubles their movement speed, and gives you an extra action that you can use to make a weapon attack, dash, disengage, or hide. I switched to saying you because, yeah, use it on yourself. You've generally got to do the work of at least 2 people, so keep yourself going. Keep in mind, when this ends, you need to take a second to catch your breath, forcing you to skip a turn of actions and reactions, so use it with caution. 10th level Paladins get Aura of Courage, preventing allies within 10 feet of you from becoming frightened. Your crew wouldn't run away. You roll with the toughest bunch in the galaxy. 11th level Paladins get Improved Divine Smite, adding 1d8 radiant damage to all of your weapon attacks, so now all of your attacks deal extra damage, which you can double with crits if you want to use Hold Person, or if you're just getting extra crits with your Vow of Enmity. Also, your lightsaber is permanently light now. Nice. 12th level paladins get another ability score improvement, but at this point I would rather grab the tough feat, giving us 2 HP for every level you have, and 2 HP for every level you're getting moving forward. So 32 at this level. You're really hard to kill, so keep not dying. 13th level paladins can learn 4th level spells, and remember when I said you were really hard to kill? Death Ward stops you from dropping to 0 HP the first time you would in an 8-hour period, so even if you get cut in half, you'll keep on trucking, or like, spidering, I guess. 14th level paladins get Cleansing Touch, letting you remove an effect of a spell on a creature you touch an amount of times per day equal to your charisma modifier. So basically dispel magic twice per day. Don't let the light side of the force keep you down. 15th level vengeance paladins get Soul of Vengeance, letting you make an opportunity attack against a creature with your vow of enmity on it after they make an attack roll, as long as they're within range. This makes you really good at 1v1ing someone. Our capstone is the 16th level of paladin. For one more ability score improvement, round up anything odd, otherwise wisdom and constitution are the most important. They make you more durable, and if this build is lacking anything, it's that trademark Maul tenacity. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, damage is high. Mixing Hold Person with Paladin lets you crit on Divine Smites, which can lead to a ton of D8s dropping on the table and enemies' HP melting. You've also got the benefit of Paladin damage pairing with Monk mobility, at least a little bit of it, letting you pursue your enemies relentlessly. Finally, you're specifically suited to outclassing people one-on-one. Vow of Enmity, Soul of Vengeance, and Hunter's Mark are all great ways to focus on somebody and take them out fast. For weaknesses, your concentration isn't great. Basically only getting a +2 modifier thanks to your Paladin aura, dropping concentration on haste is especially dangerous. You're also just not as beefy as I'd like you to be, considering your melee focus. With 18 base AC and around 150 hit points, you can be taken out faster than most frontline fighters. Finally, your spell slots and key points will get burned through pretty quickly, especially with Divine Smites. But as you burn through those quickly, you'll also be burning through your enemies. Spark up the lightsaber, get your revenge, and don't let anyone get in your way. Just remember, you're not unbeatable. Just because your enemies can't run doesn't mean you shouldn't. Thanks for watching. We've got plenty more Star Wars content coming up for you the next few days, leading up to the Rise of Skywalker premiere. If that's not your cup of tea, good news, it's only for a week. But if it is your cup of tea, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are up so you can see the videos as soon as they're ready.